Got that round of applause ready.
We got studio magic.
Yeah. What up, though, everybody? Y'all know what time it is. It is episode 19 of the NNE Freestyling BS podcast. That's right, guys. We're going to give you today on this fabulous Sunday. Why is this Sunday so fabulous, fellas? Why?
Because it's Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. So on this special episode, what is this? Episode 19. On this episode 19 on this Mother's Day episode, this is gonna be the first G-rated episode. Okay.
Thank you.
This is gonna be the first G-rated episode of the NNE Freestyling BS podcast. We're just BSing, guys. We're not.
Bob Shenanigans
in here. That's all it is. Tomfoolery. NNE Freestyling tomfoolery today. But we still from Detroit. This is still Podcast Detroit. What you thought this was? You know what I mean? But we also. Oh yeah, another special thing though. Who we got back? Go ahead, make some noise. Yeah, make some noise. Ron, give yourself a round of applause, man. We wasn't the same without you.
We missed you, man.
Sorry, guys.
The streets was asking about you, man.
Yeah, I had to deal with some stuff, so it happens.
Okay, I feel you. Yeah, right. You know. So, all right, now today we got some extremely special guests. Matter of fact, hold on. Wait a minute. Before I even do that, my fellas, I am the Enrichment. I ain't even introduced myself.
We didn't do that.
Because I'm too excited. I am the Enrichment.
It's your main man, Headache.
Your boy Nar from the Boulevard.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
how y'all feeling?
We feeling pretty good, man. I'm
overexcited.
Day, man. Right. Excellent.
Even though my mom couldn't be able to make it, you know, by her breaking her ankle and stuff, she just. I was like, wow. I mean, I asked you like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna put on. You know how they be trying to look so good for the show. Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna put on. I got to get this together. It's gonna take me a while. So I'm like,
shout out Mama Leffert.
Yeah, shout out to my moms. You know, happy Mother's Day. Her birthday just passed on the 7th of this month.
That's right.
So she just turned 66. She's still looking good. Still looking good. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Happy Mother's Day, and I love you.
And well, you know, Nick, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. Feeling blessed. Was able to wake up this morning, man.
Right. Yes.
You know, went to church, saw the family, saw my mom.
Beautiful mother sitting over there.
My beautiful mother.
And without
the beautifulest mothers.
And without further ado, because we too excited right now, guys. We got our moms in the house today with us, y'all. Round of applause for the moms here. Yeah. Now, the rule is, though, this is a hip-hop thing, so we ain't even going to introduce you. We gonna get you right. We ain't even going to introduce you as just your regular mom names. We going to let you introduce yourself, but then you got to give yourself a rap name. This is my mother to the right of me.
Call me Slim Goody.
Slim Goody.
Could I introduce myself? Allow me to introduce
Slim.
No.
She want to bust it.
I'm sorry. We didn't get songs. I'm sorry.
Let her get it off. Jeez.
Man, I got my mom right here, a.k.a. Chief Rocker.
We got Slim Goody and Chief Rock up in the building right now, and we're just so blessed to have them. You know what I mean? Because without them, this show would never be.
That's right.
They taught us the game.
You know what I mean?
We learned from a mother.
Yes, we do.
This is it. There it is. Classes in session, and
learn from them.
You know what I mean? By that, it's interesting that he put on the school bell and everything because it just so happens to be that both of their mothers are educators.
Yes.
Yes.
And, you know, trying to help these streets, man. Everybody smart came from Detroit probably went through one of their classes. just keep it a buck.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm excited. Now, Mom, you said you ready to go today, huh?
I'm ready to. I would like to introduce myself.
Ooh, okay. Well, let me do something for you. My mom came in here to ham right now. My mom really did came in because I told you. Now, Miss Head, I don't know if you're gonna participate, but we do rap here, and we do some jokey jokes. So I didn't know if you got the name, but just in case you ain't catch the feeling, you gonna let Slim Goody set things up. Slim, what you talking about, baby?
Hey.
You know what it is, y'all. It's the NNE Freestyle and BS Podcast, Mother's Day edition. And I got my mom right here. Talk to him, Slim.
My name's Melinda. I'm Richard's mother.
Hey.
We gave him a little sister. He found his Nick's brother. I'm a teacher. I spit knowledge. Just one evening with me, it's like a year in college. Glad to join you today, you rapper poets, on the best show in town. I want everybody to know it.
Hey.
That's my introduction. Now I'm done. We're so proud to have all of you as our sons.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
We keep it
She was gonna come a lot.
We keep it hip hop early. We came ready with these.
I didn't tell my mom, man. I didn't tell her.
You didn't let her know the premises.
I did not say nothing, man.
You know,
She had more lines.
I came lines though. I came from MC Breeds. You know what I mean?
That was a good job, Miss Jackson. Hey.
Motivation rapper.
All right.
Hey, well, so now that you didn't introduce yourself, so excuse you.
Right.
Excuse me, Miss Head, or pardon me, Chief Rocka. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing great. This is making me laugh. I needed this. Based on the weather outside, I needed all this laughter.
Good laugh.
But I was not informed
Right.
to write a rap.
Yeah,
So
you can blame me.
not
Blame
ready
me,
on all
y'all. I'm
that.
sorry.
Hey, don't worry, your son don't be informed either. So are we rapping today? All right, let's get into it.
Two lines.
Yeah, Mr. Two Line.
Looks like your mom's going to be joining you every Sunday now.
I feel like the request gonna go up. I feel like we
it's gonna
pushing the
go
note.
up.
No, we were supposed to be playing different roles. He told me that he's the one who talks a lot and raps, and Nick is kind of like his Ed McMahon. He laughs, and
Right.
so he said, Miss Head will do
Okay.
that with me, so I'm going to need your help.
Hey.
Okay.
Tag team.
Back again. Oh man. All right. Well, how the show usually goes, guys, we go right into our rapping part because most of the time we're intoxicated, and typically when we're intoxicated, like you know, what I mean, we want to rap and do things. Well, no, because we're adults. I love. Me and my mom, we keep a real open relationship. You know what I mean? We're all parents here now.
We keep it real. I can
This
tell
is our
your
just
story.
like right. This is you know what I mean. This is our outlet. This is how we getting down at this age. You know what I mean. So we come in here faded, and we get the rapping because the instruments. That's just what we do. It's a good time. So what we gonna start this show off with is with some freestyles.
All right.
But however though, some goody she feel ready. So you know.
I just put it
got a
down.
game
It's
face
about
on.
my son here.
She ready too.
Write
She
it
like,
down.
yeah.
I have to write it down.
So you know we gonna have a little special thing today. We gonna try and we gonna let Slim Goody show us how these real bars be flowing out.
We're gonna try. I just want to talk to you. I explained who I was. I want to talk to you
I'ma
about
do the Nick today.
what my son, who my son is on Mother's Day. I wouldn't be a mother without him. Well, he actually I have a daughter too,
Richard.
but he was the first. He's the one who made me a mother. Okay.
In 83.
Thank you so much, Mom. You know what I mean? I couldn't have done it without you. All right, let's see here. All right, here you go, Mom. Now, what's the name of this song?
This is nerve going on and one.
Oh, okay.
And one, and then we move on into anything that I can flow with.
Okay, let's go. Here you go,
Kind of
Mom.
do a little Lauryn Hill.
Let's get you your beats going. Ryan, turn them up, man.
And one.
It's the Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day edition. You know, special mixtape artist Slim Goody right here. She got a hype man with a Chief Rocker. The original NNE of the 70s.
Yeah, just that's what you said.
Yeah.
You gotta do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Mother's Day up in your cheer.
Is that up?
No, it's coming. It's coming. All right, Mom, get ready to lead yourself in.
And one.
Uh-huh.
and one, and one.
Yeah.
And one, and one. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Allow me to tell you a little story about my son's claim to glory. When Richard was 1 or maybe just turned 2, his ongoing mantra to you was, what I say, what I do. No, it was not a question. It was a statement of just who and what he already knew. That he was the golden child, anointed and appointed to change his place. Yeah. No time to waste. Continuously on the move at an accelerated pace. Spent very little time sitting on my lap. Barely slept longer than a 4-hour nap. Never wanting to be restrained, except watching Purple Rain.
Hey.
Baby Richard was on the go. Put food in mouth. I'm trying to grow. Was so full of energy, passion, and activity. The doctor gave us a diagnosis of ADD.
Dang.
But Richard declared, I'm not supposed to be mild. Taking medication really cramps my style. Just let me be me. I just want to live my destiny. I need to be quick. Sick out on these courts. Must be tall, fast, and strong to dominate sports. I will burn off my energy, so I will get creative ways. I'll write and rap songs. I'll star in plays. I want fame and fortune for myself and family. There'll be no denying. I'll get rich, or hey, I just die trying. I'll make a difference, that's true. I'm the golden child. What I say, what I do.
Hey.
From Crooked Creek to Cook to Ludington, he thought school was fun, minus the schoolwork to be done. His fashion statement was quite evident. He wore N1 and made it look so relevant. Outgoing and entertaining, provided laughter for his crew, always a friend in need. His haters were far and few. On to DSA in Berkeley, did what high schoolers do. Graduated with the class of 202. Life became an open door, joined the army, went to war, came back determined to do more, now with a son of his own to live for.
Yeah.
Love, cherish, and adore. What I say, what I do.
That's what I
Got
say.
no time to play around. This golden child is here to run this new Detroit town. What I say,
What I say.
what I do.
What I do.
What I say,
What I say.
what I do.
What I do.
What I say,
What I say.
what I do.
Hey.
What I do. Do what I say. Do what I do. Do what I say. Do what I do.
What I do.
Just do what I say. What I do. Golden child.
Hey.
Born buck wild.
That's right.
Golden child. Born buck wild.
Gia.
RICHARD. Find that what that means to me. RICHARD. Jackson.
Round of applause.
Let's go, baby.
That was my baby.
Hey.
He was on the
Hip
go.
hop up in this building, you know what I mean?
We got your new name, the Golden Child.
Golden, baby. You know what time it is?
GC.
Samu Crew.
Hey, man, good job. Good job.
GC.
Take over. I'm gonna listen to some. Maybe I'll get the
GC. 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 GC.
Shit, like I said,
Golden.
Goldie Hines.
Whenever you like, if you wanted some pizza, I'm gonna get you some Golden's pizza. Some Goldens.
golden child.
Yep. Hey, that'd be a good idea, Rich, man. Get you some money, man. Invest in the restaurant. Pizza restaurant.
Called Golden
Golden
Child.
Child's Pizza.
Golden
Might be a little cheesy.
Golden Child.
Good slogan.
We gotta have his baby picture on there.
Have a baby picture.
You wanna go there, Golden Child?
With a baby picture? That's
With your
lit.
baby
Oh,
picture.
Right, with my baby picture.
Right.
It sell. It sell.
But you gotta look like the Farina baby on the box.
That's the Focus Hope, man.
You said the Farina, baby.
That's the Black Gerber. Instead of with the spoon, man, he got the pizza like.
Oh man.
That was funny.
You got any more bars?
Well, being that it's Mother's Day, I know how this. It's just the greatest gift in the world to be a mother. So we're just so happy and pleased. So I kind of do a throwback to Biggie and the Ten Commandments, and I came up with what mothers need to hear.
Right.
Except
She's breaking it down.
She been doing
when
some
you
work.
see your baby, when you see your baby, it's just like, this is what love is all about. You learn what love is all about. So I didn't kind of want a little bit of now that we found love, because once you see your baby, it's like love at first sight.
Yes.
And but you don't know what to do. So it's like, now that we found love, what are we gonna do with this? Because you don't know. It's a new feeling. So. Miss Sadie and I, we just wanted to share to all the young mothers. We've been around.
Yeah.
We've been around, and our kids have grown up, and they're just everything we could have dreamed that they could be. But we just want to share what we think is important. So I'm gonna need.
See, my mom used to doing homework for other students.
Right.
She like to
did the whole thing.
But you about to get this A though.
Other words.
We
You
gotta
about to
get this
this A.
together. We mothers. Okay, but I'm gonna need you to say the numbers for me.
Okay. I'll line you up, Mom. I'll line you
Okay,
up.
and
I'll
then
be
you hit
I'll be
this
your
part.
puff daddy to your Vicky.
Okay.
Take that. Take that.
School's in session. You know what time it is. Good job, Ryan. Ryan, man, this best engineer ever, guys.
Yes,
Straight out
indeed.
there. Shout out.
Where's my
I'm just
money,
so-
Ryan?
I'm just so excited that what's his
I don't know what
All
to
right,
say.
turn it.
You got my
you
money.
all You started, but here you go.
Hey.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 mom commandments. What?
Thank you, God, for your blessed baby boy or girl. Being a mother is the greatest gift in the world.
Number 2.
What's a parent to do? Recognize children don't come with the manual. Some my joy to raise, others hard to handle.
Number 3.
My child, not me. Remember, your children are individuals, souls like church spirituals. They're their own person, indeed, filled with their own talents and their own needs.
Number 4.
What they came here for. Help your children to become the best that they can be. Live a life with purpose and active responsibility.
Number 5.
Stay alive.
Yeah.
Stay alive. Show them how to stay alive in these streets. Give respect, but know when to retreat. Walking away doesn't mean you're beat. There'll be other opportunities to return into defeat.
Number 6.
Let them do their own fix. Try not to hover, know when to remove the cover. There's a lesson in the struggle, sometimes there'll be strife. Teach them you're more than a conqueror when you keep God in your life.
Number 7.
Look to heaven. When you have no answers and your problems look like towers, just pray, meditate, and leave it to higher powers. Sometimes can only be solved through prayer and fasting. God's help is there and everlasting.
Number 8.
It's never too late. Don't be scared. Don't hesitate. Ask God what you came here to do. Trust and to your own self be true.
Number 9.
Like fine wine, being a mother is perfected over time. Like a fine wine or a formation of a pearl, after all, it's the most important job in this world.
Number 10.
And when, back to the beginning. Being a mother is a gift with no ending, because our children teach us the meaning of love. They help us to rise above.
Yeah.
Above.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10.
10.
The
Mom commandments.
10 mom commandments. 10 mom commandments. All right. That's all. I'm through. Okay. And Mom got one more, but that's it.
But no, we'll get back to you.
Okay, we'll get back.
We'll
Mom
get back to the
doesn't wanna
promo
dominate.
run.
Okay.
We'll get back to the promo run, the Slim Goody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The Super Teacher Live mixtape is coming out. You know what I'm saying? Starring Slim Goody. she gave y'all some fire bars real quick, man. You know what I mean? I get it from my mama.
I see where you get it from.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, we gonna take, you know what I mean? We gonna take a little break from the music in the meantime, and have a little conversation with y'all, because Oh man, I'm excited that you guys are here. So, now that you know that we was actually legit doing something from 3 to 5 instead of selling dope, and you're ready to build it, how do you feel? How do you feel to see your kids on the show making it happen?
After you, Miss
Or
Ed.
trying to make it happen.
After you, Miss Ed.
It makes me feel good. I never watched a full podcast, so I really didn't know what happened throughout from 3 to 5. But this is good, and you're able to express yourself because you're all creative.
Yes.
So you're using your creative abilities, and I wish you the very best.
Yes.
Just enjoy. I just can't watch it when
You can watch this episode.
They have a comedy podcast
Yes.
day too that I'll tune in.
Every day is a comedy podcast day with us. It's all you see all the laughter that comes around when we're here. It's our hip hop and comedy. We jokers.
But this is great. This
Yes.
is good. I'm proud
Yes.
of you all.
Yes.
Thank
all
you,
my
Chief.
sons.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
And Mom, so what do you Miss Slim Goody over here with your rapping self? What do you think about the show so far, and the fact that your child was able to create a platform that can reach out to, will you get plug-ins from like what?
All over the country, all over the world.
All jokes aside, really, I'm very, very proud of what you guys have accomplished. Being a mother, I'm just happy that you're happy. Whatever you see that you need to do or you want to do, I'm there to support you. And so it looks like this is something that is taking hold and doing well for you. So I'm tickle pink, as they would say. I'm so happy that things are going well for you.
That's what I'm
It'll be hard for me to turn pink, but you can tickle purple.
Oh shoot!
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's dope. That's dope. I'm really glad that y'all happy to be here with us, because like I said, we just trying to make what we ultimately want to do. We want it to blow up, get our stardom on, and then we can super retire y'all. Y'all can just fly around, or we can get you a jet like Drake just bought.
Oh,
Wow.
We can get y'all some jets to fly around the world,
that
or at least
sounds
the yacht. At least
That
get you a
sounds
yacht.
good.
I don't
That
know.
will
You
work.
be getting seasick. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, that's true.
Oh man. So okay, real quick. So I'm gonna ask both of y'all a little mom question that I'm sure that you probably keep near and dear to your heart. And with starting with you, Miss Head, talking about with Nick, I want to ask, what was your favorite mom moment as a child? What was one of your favorite moments with Nick when y'all was growing and you was raising your baby?
Starting from a very, very young age, when he was still in a crib. He has 2 siblings. Danielle being the oldest, who would wake up and just lay in the crib and not just say nothing. DeAndre would try to climb out the crib. But Nicholas' favorite words were, I knew he was smoke when he started saying, eat, eat. And it was like a constant. He didn't stop until I got up out the bed and went to the crib.
Eat.
And he was like, eat. And I said, well, let's get your bath and get your eat. Whole time it was like eat. So that's been nonstop. That's been nonstop since he was.
That's why I'm out cold with the food now, boy. Get it right. Get it right. Get it right.
It's been he was telling you what the talent was.
He was
early.
telling me what his gift was.
Yes.
And he loves to cook. You know that, Richard, and what they call you, Nard?
No, from the Boulevard.
No.
He loves to cook and have his friends eat his food, and he just enjoys it. It's still a passion for him.
Eat all the food.
I know.
This brother over here.
It's really good food. It's really good. No, he's really good.
He gonna say this for me and Christian for the week.
But it was. We really like it.
You took 2 plates. How you gonna took 2 plates? You got mad at me. I'm like, Nick only took a sausage.
You look like you got food to sit on. I'm trying to catch up, so I wouldn't got. I'm just like
you couldn't catch up that night. That's all it was. He tried to catch up. He said, I ain't even eating. I'm like, well, you better call Rick.
Up mustard.
He had 2 plates in the car with him.
Oh man!
Listen, he's laughing like Heathcliff over there, man.
All right. All right, Mom. Well, here you go. So tell me what was one of your favorite moments? What was one of your favorite moments with me? As we were
Golden child. Well, I kind of put it in my rap, but there's so many moments, Richard. Of course. One thing that was kind of standing out to me was there was one time I gave him a little birthday party when he turned 4. And he was playing with these balloons. So I was trying to record in those days back. That was back, this goes back. So when cameras were kind of new, and I'm trying to do the recording, and he's just in his little party. He's doing his little thing, and he was telling he got his foot caught up in the bundle of balloons, and so he was doing everything. He was flipping and running around trying to get these balloons off his foot, and I'm just looking at, are you having fun?
Flying in the sky.
Yes. Are you having fun, son? He was kicking and doing everything he could. And then he turned around and he looked at Mom. He says, Mom, I'm all wrapped up. So I looked at it. Oh, no, my poor baby. So I had to drop the camera and unwrap him.
You just thought I was playing?
Yeah, I thought he was playing. He was funny like that. I'm all wrapped up.
That should be the podcast.
I got the footage. We're gonna play with. We're gonna try it, but it's old. It's on a VHS, so we gotta figure out how we can convert it. We can run out. You can see how messed up. Because it should have made a funniest on videos. I tried hard to get out the balloons. It wasn't gonna make it, and I just kept getting more tied up.
And are you having fun?
And I'm dying right now. I don't get balloons at parties right now.
He's got a
terrified, man. It was crazy. You was just messing with these cameras.
I'm popping balloons.
Yeah. I got a problem now. I just jab one. Every time I see a balloon, I gotta jab it just to let them know. Just to let them know who the outfit is.
Come outside, he fighting with balloons. What's wrong with you, man? You all right?
Nah, man.
Huh?
Nah, traumatized.
You got that look on your face like.
I ain't know when to bring it in, man.
He got that look on like.
Oh, shoot. Shoot. All right, Mom. So look. Of course, Slim Goody came here prepared as the dope artist that she is.
She did.
So she got her other mixtape edition, classes and shit. That's the name.
These undergrounds, like y'all don't even know.
What's that? She got the OVO orange on.
Hey.
She got the OVO orange
got
on.
The bubble on.
Right.
If anyone's watched Drake.
You know what I'm saying? Just in case you heard of him. We got Slim Goody out here. She done threw on the OVO orange right now. She got the mixtape coming soon called Classes in Session for all the special ed students out there. She can teach you through the raps.
So my school is called Momentum Academy. So we're going to build up the momentum. We're moving ahead in life. We're trudging through.
Yes.
We're not letting any obstacles keep us down. So we got the momentum.
Sweet.
Yes. Hold on, let me see if I can get that. All right, Mom, are you ready? She thinks she an artist out here.
No.
I'm a whole artist out here. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can do.
Let's get this contract.
OVO, Drake, you listening? OVO moms.
OVO.
Hold on. Commercial.
Donate to schools, Drake.
Hey, I know, right? Clear some student loans, except for girls. You trying to. Yeah, that's all y'all here really doing. Now, check this.
Hey.
Exclusive right here.
Ain't this
Exclusive right here. She got an OVO orange jacket on right now. You feel me? Where you can catch her at?
on the podcast?
You all right?
To meet me at.
Yeah, all right, here you go.
You need to. Yeah.
Where you can catch her at?
To meet me at Momentum
Hey.
Academy.
Hey.
Meet me at Momentum Academy. I know when the school bell rings, That can only mean one thing. I know when that school bell rings. That can only mean one thing. Ever since I started at the school, they got the reputation to make scholars strong. Working hard together and getting along. All about success, we don't stress out. Cause ever since the school, started struggling less and learning much more. Classes with your games out there to explore. Having academics I never seen before. Momentum. Momentum Academy. Meet me at Momentum. Momentum Academy. Keep on. I know when that school bell rings.
What that mean?
That can only mean one thing.
What it mean, Miss Jackson?
I know when that school bell rings.
What it mean?
That can only mean one thing.
What, Mom?
Ever since I started, I knew you and I needed to come along. I would never ever steer you wrong. At Momentum is where you belong.
What?
Ever since I started at the school, I got exactly what I asked for. I found out education is a passport. Going different places, never dreamed before. You need to meet me at Momentum.
Right?
Momentum Academy.
Meet me at Momentum.
We making hit songs over here.
Academy.
What?
I know when that school bell ring. Oh. There we go.
That's a succession.
Oh, you hit your part, Mom.
These days, all I do is wondering if I'm wondering if I'm sending a message out fast enough, wondering if I'm telling what momentum is all about, doing what is taught and getting surpassing test results. You need to improve yourself and help somebody else.
What? You can meet her at Momentum.
Momentum Academy.
You can
Meet
meet
me
her
at
at
Momentum.
Momentum what?
Momentum Academy.
What? I know when that school bell rings.
That can only mean one thing.
What it mean, Miss Jackson?
I know when that school bell rings. That can only mean one thing.
What it mean?
These days, all I do is wondering what I'm sending out. Isn't all about wondering what it's about, doing what is supposed to be taught, getting. Oh well, you must improve yourself. Then help somebody else.
Round of applause.
Mom's got bars. Drake, what up?
Mom, that's all right.
Drake,
Sorry
what
about that. Sorry about that. Sorry, Drake.
Drake gonna come in like, man, you know, I'm gonna go get your mind on one of my songs.
Pay off her student loans. She got 2 masters. Your
And
ticket.
plenty of student loans. You got that right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Sounded real good.
Good job.
Thank you.
I didn't know you had it in you, there, Miss
That's
Jackson.
wonderful,
Right.
Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson.
Jackson. Action.
Now tell them where you
Send it.
from, though.
Oh, we're from like Gary, Indiana?
Ooh.
Oh.
She said,
No, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, tell them where you from.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. If you guys know musicals, that's from the Music Man. Yeah, no, that's from the Music Man, Gary, Indiana. I love it.
So I was just saying, you know, she got them tie-ins, man.
With the Jacksons. Oh yeah.
yeah.
The Jacksons are my cousins. So they were all from Gary. They used to hang out in the backyard years and years and years ago.
Back when Michael Jackson used to scared to get on the airplane. I'm not getting on the airplane.
That's when you knew.
You better get on this plane, boy. Come on, boy.
Yes, that's true. This is true.
Yeah.
Like they
I
didn't
grew
know
up listening
us.
to them. See, my father, my mom and pops, they had all their albums. I can name from their first album to all the way to their reunion album. Like, man, I just grew up listening.
Did you grow up with the Christmas album?
Oh man,
We couldn't have Christmas without listening to the
Man, any
Jackson
Christmas
Five.
album.
Jackson 5.
the
It's the
Temptations
best one.
Christmas albums.
Oh, yes.
The Alvin
Oh,
and the Chipmunks
Rudolph.
Christmas albums.
Yeah, the album and the Chipmunks too.
Santa Claus is coming. Two times. We used to cry off that when we was little. Like, just crying, you know. I'm just like, dang, I ain't realized why I was crying about that. When I got older, I'm like, man, what we crying off that album? What we crying off that album, you know?
Yes. Well,
But we had some times we was kids, and then when I moved on Mark Twain, and I met, you know, the fabulous Headache over here.
Yes, sir.
You know,
the head of the class.
yeah, the head of the class. You know, 27 years about to be this year since '92. 27 years.
And none of this happens if it wasn't for you two. You know what I mean? Round of applause one more time. You know,
For the mothers,
with our
for the
moms.
beautiful mothers.
With our moms, with the beautiful moms, of course. Now,
Like
speaking
that.
of, now, I'm glad Nara said something about beautiful moms. Speaking of beautiful moms, you know, beautiful moms in our age group right now, real moms that kind of got that same glow that actually must have listened to your class, is my baby girl, Aisha Curry.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in the recent pop news, y'all have heard the controversial statements of Aisha Curry this past weekend when she was on the red carpet a podcast show or whatever with Jada Pinkett Smith. And she had basically said how she's used to Steph getting all this attention because that's Steph Curry's wife, the
Yes,
you know, greatest
yes.
shooter, you know, probably about to get his 4th NBA championship, you know, big. He the man, right? So she's used to him getting attention, but she wishes that she doesn't actually get too much male outside of attention at all. And she kind of wishes that, you know, she would, like, get some because I think she's a little insecure due to her. She just had 3 children, you know what I mean, postpartum and stuff like that. But I just wanted to know, I don't think she meant it in no real, you know, I want to get a side dude or nothing like that, but it's just like, I guess, do you guys understand her point of views of being a mother? You know, she's really dedicated, real church, real house, body covered up, but then wanting, I guess, outside of attention or any type of, you know, from anything?
Take it away, Miss Head.
I heard the conversation bits and pieces of it. I think how old is she? She's in her,
Probably not even 30.
okay. So she's still young, and her husband does get a lot of attention from females, and I think when I heard that, and people were like saying, well, she shouldn't have said that. She knows that her husband gets a lot of attention from females, and there are some females out here nowadays, well, back in the day too, who will go after someone's husband. And I didn't fully understand her saying that she never gets attention from males, because sometimes when you, and even though that may not have been your intention, when men start approaching a female,
Temptation.
some of them don't care either, whether it's a married woman or a single woman. So then you kind of open yourself, or you don't. I don't think she wants to open up that can of worms. As long as her husband is giving her the attention that he should be giving her, showing her the love and the respect that she is due as his wife, and that she will in turn give him the same respect, honor him, so they can continue to be a couple. Because there are so many people out there just waiting to jump in.
Right.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So she has to, I think probably, you know, I don't know her husband either, but I think if she probably reflected on what she said, she would probably reword it in a different way.
I'm pretty sure.
Because when you put out there that people are not attracted, you know, it's going to be some now that, okay,
that's right. No, I knew that.
That's right.
They'll see her,
Right.
and they'll
Sit
give her
right
that
on through.
attention. Then she'll be
And
very
then it'd
uncomfortable.
right,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
So
So-
it's kind of one of those be careful what you wish for scenarios, or one of them things where, you know,
Yeah.
words have power to them. When you put it on
Yes.
universe, you'll be surprised how
Yes.
the universe responds.
Yes.
Ma, what do you think about the actual statements from Aisha Curry recently?
Well, basically, I just want to say this. I think Miss Head hit it on the head. And there's really not a whole lot that's left to be said. My major
Bars.
My major point is, and I think you said that part, like, be careful what you ask for. Marriage is not a joke, and a lot of people don't really understand. Like, motherhood is a very important job. It's generally done within the confines of a marriage, and it's there because you have like your mother as the person who's the cover and protector, but the husband is also that. And when you recognize that you have this unit, you're not out trying to get the attention of others. I mean, that is something that I'm not saying I didn't get it, or I'm happy if someone said a compliment, but that meant absolutely nothing to me. I want my compliments to come from my husband, so it doesn't even matter what anyone else says. Right. It's not important. So it's hard for me to relate to that because I just understand the value of your vows and the value of a relationship.
Old school.
And I feel
old
like,
school.
And to come to her defense, I do feel like her because I feel like they're one of the few young rich couples that actually are very monogamous, very Christian based and everything. I think she just kind of noodled out of her mouth, stuck her foot in her mouth.
Sure.
But however, though, just for conversation, I think she'll be ultimately all right. And I think the attention she wants is more or less just like slight advances to even curve. Because I think women live off the curve. The fact that a guy shot his shot like, nah, I'm busy, I'm occupied. Women live off the curve, but the fact that she ain't curved nobody in a couple months probably got her with the itches.
Now, did she actually say male attention or like?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay.
If you want to go like see the exact words, you can just check out Jada Pinkett show or whatever like that. But basically that's the premise of it. That just kind of wish guys, I
kind of took it like she wanted fame too. Like she wanted the attention.
do
from
anything
the fame.
for clout. Hey,
I mean, like I don't know. That was just my opinion. I know she had the cookbook out, but.
So what do you think? What is your feel on that? Like, what's your opinion on it?
I mean, she said what she said. That's what she felt at the time. Whether it's, I don't agree with it. It's nothing that I would want my wife to say. Something like that. But it is what it is, man. Hopefully they can work together, work that out, get their life back right, or.
I think Steph already put out like a statement. It wasn't because she didn't say that. They didn't say he was there too. Like she ain't say that of unhappy. I guess she.
Okay.
She just, I mean, he already put out a statement defending because of course the internet got on her.
Yeah, that's all I really saw. I didn't see the interview. So
what you think, Nard?
Well, and that's I don't know, man. I mean, I just can't. I mean, it's different generations. You know what I'm saying? Just like what Mama Jackson was saying. If you want to work on your relationship, it's certain. I mean, like I said, it's just different generations. Marriage is not what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at our parents, they, what I'm saying? Like my mama's still living. My mama been shit. If my father was still living today, they'd have been married 49 years. Wow. Right. And that's a long time for somebody to be married that long. Yes. So nowadays, you don't even have marriages don't even last a good 3 years, not even 5 years. Right. So I mean, I don't know. I mean,
they've been on for a little.
I guess
bit.
she's with him because of the money situation, or
I wouldn't wreck that because remember they've been together since like teenagers. Like he didn't met her since summer school. Summer camp. So
but that's
I would
good
take the money aspect out of it. But in general, though, I do want to piggyback off your point. Like marriages ain't the same as they used to be back then. You know what I mean? Like I guess forever don't mean forever no more.
And then again, it started with home. With the situations like your mother's gonna give you opinions, and your parents is gonna give you opinions on the marriage, especially if they've been married, and then they could give you their opinion on marriages and try to give you, try to move you forward. Hopefully it'll help in your relationship because people's not the same no more. Mm-hmm. Especially mothers. You got new mothers out here don't even care about their kids. They just let their kids do anything. Don't even care how their kids go to school, dirty clothes, stuff like that. Back in the days, our mothers took care of it, made sure we had.
Remember, you had school clothes and play clothes.
We oiled our face up, made sure we was oiled up for school. They made sure we went to school.
I asked a question after that too. You can go ahead though, bro. My bad.
Just like this past winter, all this cold weather that we've been having. And kids ain't really been going to school in 6 inches. We was going to school in that. We was walking in that. We was walking in that, but no problem. But it wasn't as cold as it was when we was coming up. But It's just like now, they get 5 inches of snow. They not going to school. I'm like, we walking down Linden.
6 inches.
Or 6, yeah.
They know the school
Oh
regulations.
yeah, we
y'all.
went to
This-
school.
this-
My mama be
these
like, "Oh,
teachers
come
out
on."
here.
I'm like, "Mom, it's snowing." I said, "Is the school closed?" Well, come on. I'm like, man. Get up. I gotta put my clothes on. And I'm walking. I'm
And
like,
don't-
"You ain't driving me." The school right down there. You know what you're doing. I'm like,
And that's
Like,
back
all
in the day when it was safe, man. Back when things were cool. Now it's kind of. I mean, I do see kids walking now. It ain't really super bad, but man, I
back then,
I
it was
get
a gang of
nervous, man.
kids.
Yeah, I get nervous about
Even with the
nowadays.
kids playing outside, man.
I get
Right.
nervous. We didn't have some crazy
That's what I'm
crimes
saying.
happen in the last 10 years.
That's why I say it goes back to, when we was kids, when we was coming up, our mothers didn't have to worry too much. You know what I'm saying? We fought in the streets, but we was cool the next day. Now you got people pulling out guns.
And
And
I
whoop
think
this
that-
guy up, they want to come back and kill you for what?
I
though?
think, and that go back to your parenting and stuff, and that goes on into school. But I think out school, just talking about that environment that you brought up, I think maybe more of the men's and the fathers of this world do need to take a little bit more initiative about that, because it just really, it's funny that it dawned on me just now. But you speaking on, how kids used to feel safe and be cool about walking
Yeah.
to school, and how they just not now.
And you got to think.
I feel like I think men need to put it, because if the police ain't gonna do it, then it's on the men in the community
Right.
to put it on their backs that don't know crazy stuff happen to these kids. Because kids just trying to get educated.
And then one
and
more
stuff like
thing.
that.
I ain't mean to cut you
There
off,
you
but
go.
one
Go
more,
for it, bro.
one more thing. Back in the 70s, I wasn't born in the 70s, but I got a lot of my family members and my father's friends and my auntie, my mama's friends. When they was growing up in the 70s, you could leave your front door open.
Yes, that's true.
It was. You didn't really have to worry about nobody breaking in your house back then. And if somebody did break in your house, it's somebody you knew.
Yes.
But you can go to sleep with your door unlocked, with your door open.
Yes.
And you ain't got to worry about, because neighbors knew each other. Neighbors worked together. So anything that went on in that little area where they stayed at, somebody on the side of your house. Neighbors looked out for each other.
Exactly.
See, it ain't like that no more. You got people taking packages off your porch.
Yeah,
you
that's
got all
crazy.
type of stuff.
Yeah, it's just ignorant stuff.
People
for
breaking in
whatever
your
reason.
house.
And for whatever reason.
Okay, so we all know being a mother is a beautiful thing. We'd like for y'all to touch on some of the struggles of being a mother.
Oh man.
Let's see. Say, where should I start?
So I know you wanted to talk about them parent teacher conferences.
No, that's not me pointing a finger at other mothers, but
No,
you're just saying
no,
my
no.
struggle with
Yeah,
just being a mother
Right.
and just trying to learn. It's really kind of when I was kind of joking out with the 10 mother commandments, but it's just one of those things where you want to do your best. You don't have the answers. Kids get into things. This world is changing, and so there are things that maybe we didn't even have to face or deal with. Right. And you don't want to alienate your child. You want them to be able to come to you. But then there comes a point in time where, like our old mothers just saying, we just give it to the Lord. I think I learned that lesson early on. I can't solve all the problems, but I let you know that I'm here for you. And when things go wrong or whatever, you can come to me. Feel like you can tell me anything. I always said you could tell your mom anything. I might be a little upset with you, but let me know the truth. Let me know the truth, and then I can go from there. So. Really, I have really good, two good children. I mean, they haven't caused me much trouble at all. Not any real trouble. My son here is just, I always sing to him, "You're worth more than diamonds." When I look at him, he's so precious to me. And when he's doing things, I just want him to know, son, yes, it's going to be tough. Yeah, you shouldn't have done that, whatever. But Mom always loves you. It doesn't matter. Mom will always be there for you. So, I don't know. Have we really had any real struggles, son?
Yeah, this account that I'm still broke. Let's see here.
Get out of here.
The split was a little different.
He's such a
let's see
comedian,
here.
too. He's such a comedian. Yeah, he's such a comedian.
Them school homeworks, just trying to get me to get this homework concept down. That was a struggle.
That
and
was
I still
a
didn't
struggle.
get it. I only got it into college.
That kind of reminds me. Miss Head, you got to remember we used to walk through Ludington together. You, me, and Miss Dillard. She's got rest her so. And we'd walk through Ludington together, and we'd both come around the corner looking at each other like, well, okay. All right.
Both kids go there too. You be like, oh Lord.
Okay. All righty. But it was all in. It's all in the.
Miss Stearns,
We
boy.
did.
We're gonna talk about the team.
And I was trying to go to Ludington too.
Yeah, Mr. Oh yes. Oh.
And you know what?
yeah.
I was trying to go to Ludington too. Nick was like, man, come on, man, see if you can go to Ludington,
I
man.
was trying to get you to come.
He was trying to get me to come, and I
too
kept
much
asking
fun
my
up in
mom.
there.
Yes, they did. Too much.
They probably, I
But
don't
see,
know.
you
man.
got think about it like this, right? This is the illest podcast, and we're destined for stardom. So, had we been academic and not athletic and clowning, we probably would have never crossed paths because we'd be too busy doing the right thing and not talking in class or entertaining anybody to even recognize each other's talent.
Yes, entertaining.
So
for
now
sure.
that we're in our, prime self,
Trying to outclass clown each other.
you know what I mean? And now we do it for a living.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And when you see what I'm saying? All comes in full circle.
It does.
All comes
I
in
guess
full
there's a
circle.
reason for everything. Yes.
All right, so
Circle
Miss Ed, so what was your moment? What was your struggle moment as a mom out here?
I think having 3 children, it was, when I had the first one, I'm like, Miss Jackson said earlier, I'm like, oh Lord, what am I supposed to do with this baby? Because no one told, my mother didn't say go read the Dr. Spock book. No. She didn't say,
Right.
This is you're going to go through this. No. And so, had the first, the second, and by the third, it became a struggle to a certain extent because each one was different.
You got their own challenges.
As far as disciplining, you had to that changed from day to day because what worked one day may not work 2 days from then. So it was a struggle because I wanted to be a good mother and make sure I was doing the right things.
Right.
See, I get emotional. This is not a crying show.
It can be, but it can be.
It's
It
Mother's
can
Day.
be one of them shows.
Right.
And so
Mother's
for
Day.
me, it was always important to teach my children about God
Yes.
and for them to know Jesus and to have a relationship with Jesus because they wanted to, not because mama had one. So that was a challenge because as they grew up and then you sit down and you have these conversations about what we did when we were supposed to be in Bible study.
Man, let me
Yes.
stop. Let me stop.
Let's stop. Let's stop this.
And I'm like, what?
Oh, no.
And,
We was-
my,
man, we
my
was
reaction
wild.
was like still,
We
what?
was on
You
top of the
did
Southfield
what?
post office.
You better not say that because that could be all over the world. They come get
No,
you.
of course. Like, oh, you little boy.
They came out, man. The guards came out, bro. Guards came
we
out
here
with German
for.
shepherds, man. And we jumped off that board.
Has the statue run on that? Yes. On that
Just like we used to jump on the
statute of
garages.
limitations
yeah,
is
statute
past
of
that.
limitations yet. Wait, hold it.
We used to jump from garage to garage.
Oh wow! I see the things that if we
That we didn't
if
know
yes,
about. Right. It is
Panicking.
that.
that's the part that I worry about.
That was a good reaction.
Yes,
There it is.
yes.
So it's just a struggle.
Best
I
engineer,
said.
everybody.
And not necessarily a bad struggle,
A beautiful struggle.
but because you want your children to be independent and able to take care of themselves.
Yes, yes.
You know, when they were little, they used to say, well, when I get grown, I'm going to buy you a house. I'm like, no, you don't have to buy me a house. You don't have to buy me a car.
Just stop asking me for money.
Just
Don't
take care
take
of
care
Just
of
don't ask me
yourself.
questions.
No, nothing.
Sit under your own vine. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Sit under your
Yes.
own
But you know,
vine.
mother's gonna do it anyway.
Yes. Yes, we will. It's hard to let go.
It's
That's the
hard.
hard. That's
It
the,
is. But
that's
that's
the
your
real
child, though.
struggle. That's the real
It
struggle.
is.
Now, when you say what exactly is the real struggle? When you say hard to let go,
Well, it's
what
just-
does that mean? Because, like I said, I think with y'all super moms at this point, like 3-time mom champs. You know what I mean? 2-time mom
Two-time
champs,
mom.
right? So it's just
And
like
grandma.
well, yeah, that's when you really get
Yes.
the dojo
Oh,
belt, the
yes.
real 10th degree when the grandma is coming out. So with that being said, though, I guess what is that? Because that's a mother's love. What is the struggle with the let go of with the mom? I know why acquiring wives want to know because it's always that mom wife. Like, what's the struggle with the let go?
Well, I don't know. I think that's just a part of. I feel like what it is to be, at least my version of what a mother is. Again, a mother is a cover. A mother wants to protect. A mother wants to make sure that everything's okay. And then I think that's really the lesson. They come through you, from God. They're gifts. They come through you. But then you have to know how to return them, give them back over to God, and then just step back. Just step back, not too far from the mic. But just, step back and let them make their own mistakes, live their own lives. That is really difficult when you see,
You don't want to see them fail.
Yeah, you don't want to see them fail. But then it's like that's not helping them to try to get over there and hover and make sure. Oh no, don't. It's good to skin your knee. It's good to kind of maybe touch that fire once or. I mean, not good, but
you gonna fall and hurt yourself one day.
Yeah,
you know?
and then maybe if you did, if
day.
you fell and hurt yourself, then you wouldn't do that silly thing on the bike that I
Right,
keep
you learn
telling
from
you
it.
not to do.
You learn from it.
But it's hard to see it happen
Right.
because we want to kiss the boo boos. We don't want this to happen to you.
Right.
We want everything just right for you. But
Safe
then
and
that's
sound.
not. That's just not the. That's not
That's
the
not
way.
always going to be the scenario.
That's not the
right.
best mothering either.
Right.
It's too much. That's smothering.
Right.
So that's I guess that's that fine line. What's smothering? What's mothering? And then when they grow up, let them go. Because it's just like, let them go, let them do their thing. And I know my mother would always say, you don't really know how well you raised your children until you see your grandchildren. And it's like they're raising what you've said comes back, and they'll do a lot of the things they can't believe. I can't believe I'm saying this, but they're basically giving your grandchildren the same
The
messages
jewels.
that you
Oh,
said.
they're passing it down.
They're passing it
Passing
on.
it on.
That's
Yep.
outstanding. That's a good synopsis on. What do you think about that there, Miss Ann?
I agree with Ms. Jackson. We have a tendency as mothers to want to fix things, and even as you become adults, and if we see you struggling and going through something, we want you to be okay. And so it's hard sometimes. I can't get any closer to this. I have to step back, and my thing is just to pray.
Yes.
And ask God to guide them, you all, because I pray for all. I got lots of children.
Yes, we do. Yes,
I pray for all my loved ones every day too.
yes.
But just good decisions, good choices.
Yes,
As a
yes.
parent, a good parent.
And another thing that I say, a mother is only as happy as her saddest child. So we're always, we can't be happy unless we know you are okay. So
Right.
it's just like if we know
It's like a relief.
Yeah, but two, like in your case, if one of mine is happy but one is struggling, then I'm on their mode with the struggling child. So it's an emotional tie. It's just. I think that's why God attaches with an umbilical cord, even though it's got to be cut.
Right.
But you still have that attachment. That's my child.
Right, of course. That's not going anywhere. Once you build it, it's like a plant.
Yes.
It's like once you plant that seed,
Yes.
it's gonna rise.
Oh, that's great to hear. I love it. I love it. That's my son. I love that. It's great.
Oh man, that's real sweet and everything. Shoot, that's like no, because it's just like wow. I think the beauty of like this show so far to me is just like sitting back, like y'all raised me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course you was with me, and as much as I was over your house and back and forth, it's like you raised me. So it's like throughout my life, y'all have always been parental figures, and you know what I mean, or authority and such. I'm always good for asking you something, doing something for it, but it's the beauty about this interview today is the fact of like really hearing it like adult to adult wisdom to new guys, because at the end of the day we're kind of new to this. All our kids are still elementary kids for the most. Well, maybe like Lene middle school. So like, but at the oldest, beginning of middle school and type of thing. So it's just like hearing you guys speak from that. I've seen the cycle play off a couple of times. I'm raising grandchildren now, and then you say, like you said, seeing those reflections, like, aha, my child does keep like
he heard something,
right? You know what I mean? Like that. That's the magic I hope that I can experience, because I know what that feeling of hearing a second generation spawn spit your stuff back to you. That's got that vibration got to be different. You know what I mean? That's got to be a special feeling and stuff like that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's great.
Nick, what was one of your best times with your moms, man?
So many, man. You know, just from her getting us ready to school, man, making that good breakfast every morning. You know, making sure
I
we
know
were
it was
straight.
good. They some cookers
You know.
over there. Them heads.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to eat. No?
All right. You know,
I still want my macaroni salad. I want the big, you know, the aluminum pan.
Yeah, that's on you, man.
He like,
Aluminum head on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the I buy the aluminum pan. Just put it.
You know,
But no, man.
just from her installing good values in us, man, trying to teach us right from wrong. You know, like she said, she just wanted us to know the Lord, and she did a good job at that, man. I don't go to church every Sunday, but majority
They
of
could
the
be
time
at
I
church
try
more
to
than the
go,
rest of
man.
us.
Yeah.
I try to be there.
And he
you
have
know.
his family there too, which I always, you know, I mean, I probably tell him that a time or two, but you know, just putting it on a public platform, I do really admire that about Nick. Nick does
You did a good
institute
job.
Christian values in his children and stuff like that. And you know, we're just in case nobody knows, although we ratchet and say a whole bunch of, you know, what I mean, of course, me say a bunch of blasphemous stuff. You know, I'm still a Christian dude to the best of my ability, but you know, I do like how Nick does install spiritual values into his kids, and you know, I mean, that's a very admirable thing, man to man. You know what I mean? Seeing another man institute, because that's usually how we meet up on a Sunday. He pulling off from the church, man. You think kids come on
enjoy
by
when they come by.
and they come on by, and it's just like, so I always, you know, that's one of them warmths to my. That's why I'm always like, the kids here. Well, come on, let me get myself there, because it's inspirational seeing dads do what they do, and then when you hear, especially on a Mother's Day episode, you hear where those ties come from. So now you hear, I mean, you seeing something in full circle. It's a beautiful thing. Life is a beautiful thing. Best movie you can watch. Your Life.
Yes. So, you have any
So I was gonna say, and about that, you know, it's funny that we jumped into this conversation, because I wanted to say, like, with our generation, like, the presence of God and spirituality and type of moral guidance is kind of few and far. Like, I think parents right now teach your kids more or less how to survive and thrive versus how to be a good person. I think the type of parenting, I'm not going to say what I do or what Nick does or what Nard does, but the type of parenting that I'm seeing is more maneuvering parenting versus moralistic. Is that a word? Like moralistic parenting, or like, you know, I mean, spiritual guidance. So I guess, what was one of those key things that helped y'all keep the faith? Because I think our generation lacks a lot of faith. I think they believe, but faith and belief is two different things. What keeps y'all, like, on the faith? What keeps y'all on your spiritual path and, like, staying, you know what I mean, sticking to the script, if you will?
I'm gonna have to. This is wow. It's so hard. I got this from my mother, who got this from her mother, and I say mother and father, but from her parents. It's just something that we've always had, and I think that pulled us as a people, like, through slavery and everything that has happened with, you know, Jim Crow and all of this other craziness that's happened. We always knew that there was a higher power, so you don't get caught up in all of this materialistic thing, and I think that's what's going on now. I think people are more, I don't know whether they're more prosperous. They financially have more money, and so it's kind of, well, I'll buy love. I'll make sure he has the best. I don't know. I'm gonna date myself, Jordans, but whatever kids are getting now, you know, he's got to have this. And it wasn't that we didn't have what we needed, but it wasn't. That wasn't what the parents they didn't strive for that. They strove for making sure that you had the values that you needed to survive in this world. But I want to say one thing, because you kind of hit on this about parents, and every time I hear about a school shooting or something like that, it just kind of takes something out of me, because it's like it's unimaginable. It's just the most awful, terrible thing. Your child goes out, and like Richard, I think you had commented earlier about walking to school, but now you get in school, you sit in school, and you still have to worry about your child sitting in the schoolhouse.
Right, I know.
So I think, so people, I just, it's like the world's gone mad, and so everybody's just trying to live and get as much as they can get and make sure my baby's happy while I can, and I'm going to give them everything, and you know, that's part of it. But I don't think that our parents really had that worry. Yes, we were concerned, and we were concerned about you guys going out in the streets and crazies, out there.
Right,
doing
but that
things,
wasn't the
but
main concern. Like right now, that's why
weren't-
we trying to build it in because like it's almost as if we getting ready for like the purge to happen in real life.
it's
Because there's so
awful.
much preservation versus the the unity. Nick spoke on it last week. Like, truthfully, the real key to it is love and unifying.
it's
That's the
love.
true key to like
love.
advancement of people. That's the real game at the end of the day. But with the way things turn out.
Yes.
With the election, with the way jobs go, racism,
Yes.
classism,
Yes.
all these isms and stuff like that, you stop really believing that. You start getting in that dog
that's where
fight, and when you get in that dog fight, it's hard to interject faith in because at the end of the day,
But see, that's it. We've on that foundation. Back to what Nard said. The root, that foundation, that seed is there. So we know God will not be mocked. It's just like.
Right.
We know where the victory is going to come. And so that's the faith that we go. We keep going with that faith because we know that good is going to win out. And it's like
Right.
if you have that in your heart, we send our babies out and, we'll be long gone and our progeny will continue on. But we know that our seed will not be forsaken. If you just keep putting that in and like Miss Ed was saying, like we pray every day and we know that somebody prayed for us to get us where we are today. So I know you young people are out there and they think they're all alone, but no, there's somebody. We're covering you. We're covering you all the time, and that's what we're learning as we get to become mothers, grandmothers. That there's, like I said, God will not be mocked. The devil is a lie.
Amen.
I'm sorry. The devil is a lie. It's not going to. They're not going to take. They'll never take my faith away. Never take my faith away. So. I'm sorry. Go on.
It's just,
That's a good point. I like that.
the faith that you have had for a while, it may not have been as strong when we were younger, but the more mature you become, prayerfully you gain wisdom, and I just believe that that my faith was instilled into me from especially my mother, and you watch and you see crazy things that are going on, and I just want to trust in a higher being, in God, because I believe that everything, He's going to watch over us. And like Miss Jackson just said, I pray for all my children, that God will just bless you with good health, happiness, and prosperity. That the blood of Jesus will be over you each and every day of your lives, and that He will keep you safe because there's so much going on.
Yes.
And we do pray for you, as if you're saying, I'm talking on the phone, I'm going to the store, I'll start praying.
yeah, because
Because
randomness
it's just
happens.
a random thing, even to get pulled over by the police nowadays. But my faith is strong, and I'm going to believe that God is going to be the victor.
Yes.
A lot of young parents now may not necessarily believe that, okay, God is going to do this, and then say, because I tell young people that Satan does not stop on his job.
Oh yeah, he's
Right.
busy.
And he's going to try to
busy
get
with
in
the
there
Lord.
Never
and
slacking.
destroy. So, you believe it. The faith is believing in something that you don't see, which is God.
Yes.
I see what people do. They destroy. So I'm going to continue to believe in Him and just know. And hopefully other, young people will see it, will start believing, and then their faith will also increase.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. Round of applause on that, Ryan. Like I feel now that's the true enrichment. That's the true enrichment right
Yes,
there.
it is. Yes,
And
it
that's
is.
like I said, that's the beauty of wisdom. You know what I mean? Like you young ladies in here looking gorgeous. At
Young ladies.
Right.
Young ladies,
Right, you young ladies in here looking gorgeous right now.
looking half y'all age over there.
And the beautiful thing about it is because of these, these various institutions that you have. I think when you have knowledge and wisdom to that degree, there is a certain calm, because there's
That's true.
Yes.
it's with me being at the age of we're starting this show now. As y'all know, I just hang out with these guys just because it's Tuesday night type of thing. Like this is what I will be doing anyway.
Yeah.
But word on the streets is, you can start buzzing, just kicking it with your friends.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can invest a little change to kick with my friends, and it can kick back, and then all my friends and me can party with our own money, not just somebody do this and it's just like, hand me down. No, this is, it's a squad thing. I think that it leans back on that faith thing. I got faith in like it's gonna strike. If you build it, they will come type of feel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that hearing those type of speeches and type of, I don't know, that wisdom, because I can't be calm. I sincerely don't know if this is gonna work or not. Mm-hmm. This could be money wasted. I have fun with my friends, but I could have had the same fun for free. Like this, actually more fun because we like to smoke and drink right now. Like we keeping it professional, but but it's just like so that calm is just so enlightening to me. Of just kind of knowing that, like I said, it's the beauty of having a mother.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Inspired by the
Mother's
mothers. And then you got other mothers out there, even though you got your own mother, but you always gonna have a second mother that say the same thing, that your real mother will tell you. Mm-hmm. So, one thing I learned, that different mothers, all mothers have the same thing in common. Like I was saying about the old school thing, when we was playing, kids out here, when we got in trouble, you got other parents that came and whooped our butts and called our mother later on and said, "Oh, I done whooped him." You ain't had to ask permission to whoop your kids back then. If our mothers was cool back then of course, certain, we gonna get a whooping if we been bad, especially if we was down y'all house. Oh, you gonna get a whooping, whop, 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 and then, I whooped your son. Then we get home, we get another one. So
Yeah.
So I aspire. I love y'all to death. This teaching me, right from wrong. Even though my mama was teaching me that, you always, like I said, you always gonna have a second mother.
What Nick say?
Or there's a random person that's gonna teach you, tell you
Sure
that.
does.
know.
And that's one of the things with the teacher. So it's just, you're right. It's everybody was working together as a community. So even though back then, I want to say when you were talking about the doors being open at night because we didn't have air conditioning, so you needed that draft to go through. But we actually had neighborhoods in those days.
Right, neighborhood
and our preachers and our teachers and the police officers, everyone lived in the community.
In the area, right.
So we knew each other. And people knew my grandparents before me, so they would say, oh, I knew your grandmother. So it was a whole different feeling there. We were all working together.
Like you felt more safe,
Yes,
especially
were.
when you have people that actually work for the city, like the police officers, and you got a lot of people that actually you got along with, and that, like you said, it started from, it ain't them just knowing you, they know your grandma, your great grandmamas,
right?
So it made you feel more comfortable and safe where you was at. Like I said, you can leave your door open,
Right.
You can go to the store, leave your door cracked. You ain't gotta worry about nobody walking in your house.
You
Ain't
could
nothing
leave
like
your
that
key in
back
your
then.
car.
No.
Really, it was one of those things.
No, you ain't had to worry about none of that.
Yeah, we just learned the word carjacking back in that was
90s?
something new. Yeah, that was new.
Jack,
See, that's what I'm saying. Like y'all probably found that out probably in the 90s.
We heard about hijacking planes, but we didn't know about carjacking. It was just different. It was such a different world. Such a different world. That we were in. I'm sure things were always going on, but we were protected. We had those kind of mothers.
Even though we had like the drug war and all that going on in the 70s, but the murder rate really wasn't as
and even
much
those
high
gangsters
as now.
had systems. They
Yeah,
had
they did.
systems.
They
See,
wouldn't bother.
even the gangsters had they had rules to the street stuff. That's what I think. One of the things that's the problems now. Like time back here, we seem to always bring them up, but certain memories that last forever. Talking about with Nip, bringing back like the gangs that y'all knew prior to the drug scene were the community reverse bullies.
Them the people that actually
the police.
gave back.
Yeah, they made sure that
They
it was
did
they
stuff
was
for
the
the
tough
community.
guys who took care of the BS. And maybe they got little underground things going, but back then it really wasn't to destroy, it was to build. So yes, people got destroyed from it, and I'm not going to say it was the perfect solution, but like I said, drug dealers would give back. They just would once upon a time.
Well, I'm going to say this. I used to be a newspaper girl when I was ages 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 13.
Think about that. You could do a job safely at 9 in this time period.
Yes, at 9, counting money and collecting. And when I was out on the street, we used to call them wine heads. I don't know what people say.
Winos.
Yeah, the winos would just say, "Paper girl, let me me read the headlines. So I let them read the headlines, and they say, you go on. And they were watching. They already, don't touch the paper girl. Don't touch the paper girl. You think about this today. I'm going into people's houses. I'm counting money with them. I'm doing this. I'm walking by myself at night. No problems.
No problems.
No problems. Because even the bums were watching over you. I shouldn't call them
the
that.
morale was so much higher back then.
Don't touch the paper girl.
I mean, like I said, and I think it's obvious. I don't think we at the end, like, look, we talking about Bible and stuff. Hey, Revelations is a real thing. And like I said, I don't think it's all just going to happen at once. Like one Sunday, the sky's going to get red and it's just rain. Hey, I don't think it's going to happen like the Avengers. I just kind of feel like God moves on his time, so it's a progressing thing. I always say, he ain't gonna just snap his finger, chaos. like I think it's in a progressing thing, and God's time is different from our time. Time is a man-made thought concept. You know, I mean, we base it off the sun rotation and et cetera, and go on. So time is a science-built, institution. But however, God's time was never really taught. So when he say these things gonna happen, he ain't say these things was just gonna happen like as you reading. Right. It's all in alignment. So I just feel like the more you explain it, the more I see it is just like, if you were to put it in computer system, we just loading. We about 10% loaded into apocalypse. Like, we not fully there. It's not bad. I don't hate everybody. Look at that. Ryan's kicking in with us right now. Like, it's not hate everywhere yet, but it's growing. It's growing because, I mean, love eventually the end is in, but love does conquer all. Love does conquer all. But I wanted to touch on that with y'all. What do you, because Nara brought up a good point talking about the communal feel and everything. One of the biggest fears for me being a parent is the way that police treat our children and our women. And I've spoken to you all outside of my personal views of what needs to happen. Yeah. But my thoughts I feel are a little bit extreme. But and I feel like I may live in a generation where another civil war starts, because I think as a man, if you can't do nothing else, you want to protect your women and children. You may not be able to make $1 million. You may not be able to get in the best shape you want to. You may not be able to have your dreams come true. But as a guy with an innie and not an outie, you feel obligated to protect your women and children. So when you see those who are supposed to be protecting you, your authority, abusing your women and children, it heightened the beef. It's one thing you stopping me from feeding my children, but it's nothing you stopping my children from growing. If I was when I was a drug dealer and you busted me and I could do a bunch of time, it's like, dang, I was just trying to feed my family. I was out here. But, I played cat, I played cat and mouse and got nipped. You know what I mean? That's one thing, but it's another thing where I'm doing the right thing. And I got my son all the way through high school. We done stayed, paid all our bills, been model citizen. My son sat tripping one night, and you mean to tell me you as a trained adult man don't know how to handle a belligerent teenager? And so then we get these tragedy stories, and it's just like, you mean to tell me I did the right thing for about 17 years just to have my thing dusted away? So I bring that point up to say, like, what are y'all thoughts on the communal feel, and how can we get it back to where the people in our community are of the community? Like, what do you think that what we should do to maybe encourage more kids to be police officers, to be senators, city councilmen, versus, because all the things we want to be are self-profit, or, are self-motivated. Of course, we have community in mind. When we come up, of course, we're going to do a lot of good things, but we're not trying to be community guys. What do you think, this generation could do to promote community guys?
I'll take that. That's a big one.
I'm long-winded. You don't mean to say it. I'm sorry.
But because
you thought we was just BSing here.
Because everything is so out of order now. Everything.
Yeah. Look at the president.
So when you have children, before I retired, and I taught preschool and kindergarten, so even at talking to very young children, I used to ask my children when they were very young, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And they would, every time I asked, it'd be a different answer.
Yes.
But sometimes those children aren't being asked now, what do you want to be when you grow up? So That's a big question,
grow up, yes.
Richard, because it all starts in the home. If you teach your children to be respectful of their brothers and sisters, you're going to be respectful. You're not going to fight. You might try to fight when the parents are not in the house and get somebody's but love each other.
Yes.
Take care of each other. So they're constant. At one time, there was a time when that's what we were hearing.
Yes.
Take care of each other. When we parents are not here anymore, you will have each other.
That's right.
So then that went out into the community, because when you are being taught to have self-respect, you're going to then project that respect onto others. So then it's not going to be get in a fight. When I went to school, people didn't pull out guns. They, you're going to fight?
Fist fight.
Okay. And it was over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we settled it with these hands.
So, but
Be friends again.
everything that we want people to know has to be taught.
Right.
So these police officers who have forgotten really and truly what their
here for,
role
what they're really here
is,
for, exactly.
I think they have to be like retaught,
Reprogrammed,
retrained.
yeah.
Yes.
Some may not like it because
They came
I
in
wanna
for the
be
wrong
part-
reasons. They
Right.
came in for the wrong
So
reasons, yeah.
that question is, you can go off
It's
into
loaded.
so many different areas, but just common respect. I was not raised to look at the color of a person's skin, and I'm very thankful that I was not taught to do that.
Right.
Now I grew up in a time
People look at her.
going down south, people locking doors because they see a black family getting out the car.
Yeah.
So we're closed, locked the door, and all we did was turned around and got back in the car. We didn't go get angry, try to break out the glass. We coming in this. We turned around, got back in the car, kept driving, tried to find another place.
Go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it.
Yes,
So it's
that's
just,
right.
Things are so out of order. Not all people are racist, but there's it's almost like something in the air.
It's a tension.
It's a
tension, right?
in
That's why I
our
said earlier about this.
society
I
now.
feel like I'm gonna be alive to see a civil war. It's that tension.
We have to, and even with the children, we tell our sons, and they're like, well, I don't have to do that. No, you better put your hands on the dashboard. Have your license out, registration out, and then some. We saw that some are still being killed once. They're given
Everything.
we didn't know it was in his hand. Thought it was a. So that's a big one, Richard. That would take like a long time.
Well, I love your presence here, so I wanted the long answer. It's a podcast.
That long-winded answer.
This is a podcast. Is merely talk radio.
If you
uncut.
get that answer, you let me know because
Yes,
that's
tough.
Well, so what do you have like on the?
Well, again, I think that Aretha Franklin and Miss Head said respect. That is really
Just
the
a
key.
little bit.
You have to show respect
yes.
for yourself, for others, but also respect for authority. And I hope I'm not stepping on. I really want people to understand this because I'm a school teacher, and right now I'm working with kindergarten through second graders. And even at that level, they don't know where the boundary is for an adult and a child. They're not knowing how and you're supposed to approach an adult, or if you're requested to do something, it's the way that you question that. It's not that you may say, well, wait, why am I doing it? It's just your tone and the way you
It's the
question
tone
it.
and the energy.
Yes. So that energy of defiance is out there. And like I said, I have a very, very, very close friend who's a police officer. So I'm not against all police officers. But there are those who feel like, well, I'll show you how to respect my authority. I'm going to show you. So the minute, the slightest thing, they're out there to prove I'm the one who's in authority. And they do, by law,
But
have a
they're not-
right to carry a gun. Go ahead, Nick.
They're not supposed to have authority over you.
No, they are the basically when they're to ask you to pull over, and they're saying something to you, that is their they do have a right to pull you over. But you have a right to say, officer, why am I being pulled over? You have a right to be respected as a human being.
I think.
Well,
you
you
know,
have.
I don't want
Right.
to cut. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Want you to lose
Yeah.
your thought. But I
Yeah.
think the difference between your generation, and my generation,
Yeah.
is like. Well, and I don't think it's as simple, but it's the tone of it.
Yeah.
Pardon my French, but you work for me.
Yes. that's
Okay,
true.
like, yeah, I was violating, and it's your
And
job
you
to
may
police
not
that
have been
up.
violating.
Or no, you know what I mean? No. And furthermore, I wasn't even violating. You work for me. Why are you? And it's not. And once again, I don't talk to police with that tone. But see, that's always my dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is supposed to be I'm paying these tax dollars for this. I'm following the laws for this. But I was slipping today.
Yes.
Talk to me as a service versus.
I ask you a question and you don't have to answer it. Like,
Yeah,
that's a sign of
yeah,
disrespect.
right. And then you snappy with me, like, hey, bruh, I messed up. I'm a C student.
Yes.
So you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, like I slipped. But once again, remember, you're here to service me. So okay, give me the
Like
pat
this-
on the hand and roll. But all the
Protect and
disrespect,
serve.
right?
I just want to go
Protect
back.
and serve.
Right.
I want to go back to
I'm
back
sorry.
to again what
Go
Ms.
back.
Head was saying though. This is back to this is a major problem. Like things are messed up. It's like foundationally, things are really messed up. So yes, you have people in the police force who have access to grind, who come with their own bad attitudes, who come out there ready to start a fight when there is no fight. But on the other hand, there are situations where they have been challenged, their authority is challenged, and then they respond in kind. That's what they do, and this is what happens. But I'm not, please, don't, I mean, I know the situation. Please don't, no one take this to say that they have the right to, shoot any child.
yeah.
Because then at the higher picture, there's really nothing that you've done. I don't care if you stole a car. There's nothing that you've done that's worth a life. So for them to even have that power, that's messed up right there.
Facts.
That they have the right to take your life for a broken tail light. That's wrong. That's wrong. Know
Right.
when to walk away. Learn to fight another
you-
day. Live to fight another day. Learn to walk away. I'm saying the police officers too, everyone, but we're all in this battle, not showing respect. They're not respecting your life. And
You ain't
and
respecting their authority,
you're-
because
and it's
everybody,
just-
because once again, it go back to that
Your
hostility of
constitutional rights.
We're not
nothing.
thinking about each other as a
Right.
people. We're
As
thinking
a-
about
as human
individuals.
beings,
So
yeah.
it's just like, what do you want from me? Because I'm going to take what I want from you type of thing. So
But I'm
everybody's
also
just
going to
trying
say
to outspar
this
it
too,
out.
and psychologically there are problems. People, they react on their fears. They react on their own perceptions. And so when you understand that people already perceive you as a threat, then you have to, if you don't want that fight that day, you have to act accordingly. You know that you see me as a threat, so I'm going to let you know I'm not here to
But
threaten you. I'm here to go home.
You want to know what the game is behind that,
Yeah.
though?
But see, I'm a mother. I want you to come home.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
But I'm just, it's funny talking about what authority. The game behind that, though, is like, you don't want that fight that day, right?
Right.
That's up to me. But here the gag is, I want that fight that day. The reason I want that fight, because I had to fight to get this entry-level job. And then when I got this entry-level job, I got to fight to keep that entry-level job. So I got to do what my job and the supervisor job, possibly the manager's job, just keep that entry-level job. Then I got to fight at home because, you know what I'm saying, my wife always used to entry-level money, while versus like, you know what I mean, and we live in entry-level neighborhoods, which these entry-level neighborhoods, these entry-level cops come in and start tripping because they already told us, like, so by the time you're ready to speak to me, and we're supposed to be adults right now, I'm not trying to hear none of that. And so it's really hard for me to keep my energy calm when they started. And that's the problem when you talk about make me want to holler, Marvin Gaye.
Make me want to holler.
That it's almost a gag. It's like, okay, so it's like a reality show. We gonna build them all the way up through the day. BS. Oh, taxes went up. Oh, this went down. Oh, by the way, your wife, you know what I mean, she tripping. Blah blah blah.
Yes.
And then we gonna pull him over. Let's see what he do. And we gonna be rude to him. Let's see what he do. You see what I'm saying?
Once you know the game, play it right.
Well, I play. Hey, I know it, so I'm playing, and I just stated it on the thing. But I'm saying it's a crazy cat and mouse game, man, and it's pretty
sad.
sick.
It's a very
It is
sad
sad.
situation.
It's crazy cycles. Yeah. What was you about to say, Nard?
Well, you got cops out here like Ms. Jackson was saying. They act off their fears. You got some that been bullied when they was younger, so they felt like, oh, I'm a police officer, I work for the law, and I could just do what I want to do. You know, and you know they do stuff like that. They kill people and then they lie about it because you
Yes.
know some of them they
Yes.
think they can get away with it, and some of them
They
do get away
have-
with it.
Yes.
They didn't got away with it.
Yes.
They didn't got away with it, so they felt like they can, you know, ban your constitutional rights. You know, certain things that you are allowed to do. You know, you got people out here with cameras. They're in a public area. Then they be filming. Like they say, you can film in a public area.
Right.
If you can see in that view in the public area, you don't have no right to even come even say anything to me. I'm in a public place.
That's true.
I'm in a public environment.
Yes.
Ain't nothing even, you know, you telling
right.
me
You
this
ain't
is
doing
private.
nothing.
You telling me this area is private. How is it private?
And
When
I'm
they
right
say
here. I'm
I'm
in the
over
public.
here in the public, so how you gonna tell me that I'm in a private area and I can't film here? So you calling the police on me, and then when the police get here, and hopefully they bring a police officer that knows the law.
Yes.
So when they decide to bring one that have to know the law, they look, man, he can stay here and do such and such.
But instead,
That's why I go back what you
knuckleheads.
were saying
Yes.
about it's different from y'all generation to ours because
Yes.
you know back then you had respect for cops and
Yes.
you know
They have
And
respect
they have
for you.
respect for
they
you.
they have
Yeah.
respect for you, and then they actually knew the law, and they like, okay, we here to protect and serve you. We
Right.
work for you. They actually knew what was going on. You got
Yes.
cops out here now. I'll work for you. You work for me. I
Yes.
pay taxes.
That's
I'm
true.
So if I don't
pretty,
pay taxes, if I don't pay taxes,
Is
guess
my
what?
mic up, man?
You don't work.
That's true.
You don't
Yeah,
work.
I hear you.
This
Oh, okay.
say if the state of Michigan nobody don't pay taxes, guess what? It ain't gonna be no police officers. Just like the gang squad. Me personally, I think they should have kept the gang squad because they actually kept the guys that was out here trying to, you know, sell dope or would do whatever, you know, running the game. They kept them in line, so they couldn't support them, so they kept it going. I'm like, well, I mean, to me, I think that was kind of healthy in the city.
It was a proper usage of our tax
Right.
dollars.
It was because you know they had the right to, you know, if you weren't in school at this certain time and you get caught, they had a right to, you know, why you ain't in school, such. So you get mad at them, they beat you up. That's just how it was when I was coming up. So I ran into them a couple of times. But
Well, I mean,
I be like, hey, I mean,
it's a
that's just,
fist
they just
fight.
doing their
See,
job.
The beautiful thing about a good old fashioned fist fight or a butt whooping, though, you live to see another day, and you
Yeah.
get stronger. Like once you get
It
punched
wasn't
in
no
the
guns
face,
back then. It wasn't
now
no.
you
We
know
ain't
what
had
it
to
feels
worry
like to
about
get punched
that.
in the face, and now you know, you know, I mean, you prepare for it.
Right.
So you know what I mean.
And that's part of
But
being
you
a
can't
man.
you can't try or shoot yourself. You
Just
can't
like-
keep getting shot.
just
'cause
like,
it ain't gonna
um,
happen like that. So
just
that's
like-
why fights is work.
I'm gonna say one more thing.
My
Just
fault, you
like
saying?
just like they had the girl locked up in the cell when the
Sandra?
white cop
Yes.
when the white cop the white cop raped her in there.
No,
That's
this is something
another one.
different.
I said,
You ain't. That was kind of old.
okay, no, you wasn't talking about Sandra Bland. You
No. I'm talking about. It was, I don't know her name, but the girl was actually in the cell, and the Caucasian cop came in there and he raped her. And actually, I think he got away with it. And I'm like,
that's
that's why I was saying about, you know, cops, they think they can do exactly
Whatever
what
they
they
want.
want to do
Yes.
because they figured that they can get away with it. Just like Donald Trump. He in the office and he do certain little things. He think he can get away with it. Everything that he doing is coming back to him. He don't know that, but eventually you're going to have somebody that's going to tell on you, that's going to rat on you, whatever you want to call it.
They are.
And people actually coming out and they saying something about him, just like with the vote count. You know, darn well you didn't win. You paying people to change that around, I'll give you such and such and such. You know, it's just like a bribery thing with him. Like, okay, whatever. So then you talking about being reelected? No, you can't. No, I mean, I'm just saying. You know, you just got people thinking that they could do certain things and get away with it, and knowing that they know they can get away with it if they have the right people behind them.
Yes.
So if they got us behind them, then we ain't gonna let that slide. And then another thing too, you know, we actually have to get up and vote, and that's the main thing. That's what's wrong with the city. You know, we was like one of the lowest in the city.
Vote turnouts,
The
yeah.
vote turnout's low. It was by what 20-some%. That's not good.
No.
You know, and you talking about, I don't want him in office, this and that. If you get up and vote, we
Man,
wouldn't have
you're
this
right.
problem.
Yes.
You
Big
know, he
facts.
tell me every time, you voted? Oh, I ain't voted yet, but I'm on my way.
Big facts.
I'm a
Nah.
registered voter.
Right,
I'm
no,
going
big
to vote.
facts. You bring up a good point, Nar. You bring up a good one. Well, you know what I'm saying? Hey, because it's Mother's Day and everything, we did get it. Like I said, this is a Rated G Educate episode. We got between in this room right now, we got about what? A whole doctrines and a half up in here. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, but just to keep in the spirit of this hip-hop-ish show, we're going to, of course, have my guy step on up. Now, y'all have listened to this show before or at least tuned in to some of the clips and everything like that. one of the great talents that we are blessed to have on this thing right now is the absolute undisputed worldwide king of all things beatboxing, the beatbox champ, Big Nar from the Boulevard right now. Uh-huh. Yo. Hey, yo, if I shoot you, I'm brainless. See me in my cut, I'm stainless. And people know enrichment come through and I change this. Podcast game, I do my thing. I'm never lame, it's never been the same like us. And people know that we the ones you can trust. Get up on the microphone, guaranteed that we bust. No cuss, cause my mama right here might get smacked. But I come through with my whole squad and give that. Everybody know that enrichment been the king of rap. Freestyle off the top, boy, can you do that? No, but I don't see that we raw. Got my whole squad with me, and you know that we ball. Come through anytime you need a freestyle call, and we pull up. You know what we gonna do? We do your crew up. Get the party jumping, make them all scream, hey, and everybody know we about to do the stuff all day. This type of stuff happens every day. This type of stuff happens every day. Crime don't pay, yeah, but crime do pay. But anyway, we about to make it anyway. This type of stuff happens every day. This type of stuff happens every day. Crime don't pay, but sometimes crime do pay. But yo, anyway, we gonna do it this every day.
Okay. Say Happy Mother's Day. You know who it is. In the need, my friend. Yeah. Gotta watch my mouth, watch what I say. You know I keep it cool, you know I don't play. A shout out to my mama, you know I love you. And Miss Jackson, you know I reach and hug you. To my best friends, man, we at it again. Yeah. Now I got the beat rocking. Couple.
Hey. That was hard, baby.
Awesome. That was
Classic.
awesome. Yeah.
He's the champ. The champ is here. The champ is here. What else you got for us? What else you got for us? Beatbox going.
Okay, hold on.
Hey.
Hey. I jump on it. It's been a long time coming, but I say I'm here. And let me go and whisper this thought in your ear. We gotta. Oh man.
Bring it back, girl.
Two lines.
All right.
That was 1.5. 1.5.
Ooh,
I gotta keep it clean, man.
He always had to see
Like
it,
not
man.
counting a half, 1.5.
Man, bring that beat back, dog. He always, man, dog, he be coming in with the best two lines, bro.
And he still remember the beat too.
That's the beatbox thing, man. Smooth with the groove, Jefferson cruising. Running with my team, we ain't never ever losing. Ryan right here, he the best engineer of the year. That's why we always straight, never queer. Walking on the track, my people know it's Dirty Jack. I bring it back to the winners hip hop with the raps. I do that from back of the bus. I never do cuss. Like now I cuss up a storm whenever I fuss. Everybody know exactly they ain't messing with us. Skills on some real. Saying Super Saiyan MC and keep it trill. Every day up on the block. You can feel my instrumental like it's Braille. Get up on the strike. People know that I'm hot. We get right and we do this freestyle all night. Whether high or sober, everybody know we getting over. All your other podcasts is over. Unless you the Ultimate Nerd Podcast from my main man Ryan, and you know it's a blast. They be talking about fantasy and cool little stuff. Video games, and you know they keeping it tough. I should go on there and maybe gangster it up, but Ryan don't need that. 'Cause people won't listen up. But anyway, I'm on the microphone with my stuff. I got my moms here with me, and you know they raised us.
Yeah, boy.
Nice. Very nice.
Put me on the spot.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey, free plug. I had to plug you in, man.
I appreciate it.
I had to plug. Hey guys, if you don't know, you gotta check out that Ultimate Nerd
you know.
Podcast. He's back, baby.
I got one. Hold on, I'm trying to get Sophia. I got an old school one.
Hold on. It's the cleanup man. The cleanup man. He'll sweep your girlfriend right off her feet. And if you don't know, I told you so. Because you know your girlfriend, she was rolling with me. It's the cleanup man, and yes I am. I do it, I can, just to be a gentleman. See your man, he be beating you and you treating you wrong. So you come over to me to get on this. But my mom's right here right now. I gotta talk real nice. He coming through and take you on a date tonight. Say you got a couple kids, got a babysitter fee, and then I throw a couple $100 down to do my thing. But anyway, call me up when your man's at work. Cause I don't do nothing. I rap anyway. I'm a jerk. You can't do. It got too hip hop. It got too hip hop. It got too hip hop. It was up wrong. Hey, no cussing, y'all said. You didn't say subject matters. You said no cussing. All right, now.
He's singing with it now.
Keep that going for a minute, man.
Put the singing back in there.
Amazing.
We got to help the people. Get the people what they want.
Nah, the beatbox shit, baby.
Yes.
You got to help the people. Get the people what they want. I'm so happy to be here. Baby, please don't love me.
He was about to break it down.
I'm about to do the fuck.
Make a church. Okay.
All right, y'all. Okay, well, like I said, initially we thought it was gonna be a shorty, but you know, we took off to see that's the stoner magic. What happens in here when various things, the improv happens of greatness, like today's show, we call it stoner magic because we all stoners. In the great state of Michigan, you can smoke freely. However,
Well.
well, so,
One more, though.
Come on.
no, you gotta save, you gotta save for the what's
I might
it?
forget it.
You gotta say, no, you
That's
gotta
it.
nope, you gotta save it for the gram. That's all they getting for this week. We
Look,
crammed
he
it
want to do
in.
it anyway.
But look, nah, man, we gonna have to go ahead and wrap
Nah,
it.
he's got it.
We're gonna have to go ahead and wrap this up, right?
man, no,
we gonna wrap
see.
this on up though. But before we wrap it up, I got something. The folks on the camera gonna come through. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second.
He about to pull out
A bologna sandwich. Oh, okay.
Here we go. What I got right here. Right, what I got right here is a little Mother's Day call from Miss Leffer right here. Because, you know what I mean, without her, we wouldn't have the Beatbox King and doing our NNE thing. And, of course, I have one for the lovely Miss Sid herself, which is she partially raised me. Because, you know, we was here, so we was just due for, you know what I mean, on Mother's Day there. So, you know, from the good folks at the NNE, we want to thank you for being there. But before... You know what I mean? We get up, of course, I had to break it down for my moms and my show. So
Right, I
hold
was
on
gonna
1
say.
second now.
Where Miss Jackson?
All right.
Miss
He was going to say, sorry, Miss Jackson.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
I should have did that beat.
Hey.
Mom's a little, you know, I mean, a little smells good. This is her favorite thing. She one of them folks. She look
yes,
forward to it every holiday.
I do.
So I got the new smells
Thank you, my
good joints.
feet. Oh, how sweet. Thank
So you know,
you.
we want to show that, you know. Well, give me some.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, what I mean, we just we want to show appreciation. Like I said, it's
sweet.
Mother's Day. So, you know, we really appreciate our moms and what y'all have done for us and what y'all have,
Appreciate you guys.
you know, inspired us to do. So, you know, it's just a small token of our esteem over here at the NNE Freestyle and BS podcast. We just hope that y'all go on to have a beautiful and blessed day on this Mother's Day. We're about to go ahead and close this off, everybody. But before we close this off, we would like to send our handles out there right now. Nara, where can people reach you at, man?
You already know at Facebook, Narflex, Instagram, Nar from the Boulevard / Lionel T. Jefferson. And, you know, Snapchat is BigNar.1984. Or 313. I think it's 313. Big Nard
Find
313.
them. Look up Nard Lefford.
Well, if you put Nard in there, most likely it'll pop up. Big Nard, it'll pop up, 313. But I think I got 2 of them. But the one that's actually active, I think, is the 313 one. But you already know Nard Flex and Instagram, Nard from the Boulevard, Lionel T. Jefferson. Then the main 2,
Google me.
Yeah, you can Google me too. I was actually the one. No,
Where can we get at you at, man?
Catch me at Facebook, Nicholas Head, Instagram, n.headache84. I'm out here. Simple.
For sure, guys. You can catch me at the Enrichment on
What about your
all
other one?
platforms. 2 lines. 2 lines. Good. The group of 2 lines.
they got the other one.
2 lines. Nah, man. Right. Nah, hey guys, you can follow me at the Enrichment on all platforms. The Enrichment MC on Facebook. Yeah, you can also look up the NNE Freestyle and BS podcast. You can Google us; it'll take you there. But we're based out of Podcast Detroit. Please go into Podcast Detroit. That's PodcastDetroit.com, and look up the various other shows such as Ryan's show. With the Ultimate Nerd. Was it Ultimate Nerd Podcast? Yeah, the Ultimate Nerd Podcast. But then you, like I said, look us up in and symbol Freestyle and Bullsh podcast. You know what I mean? And fill in the real world, fill in the blank, and give us our views on Podcast Detroit. But also, for DSPs that you're used to, you can catch us on SoundCloud in Annie. With the and symbol. Got all 18 of our episodes, including this one that will be uploaded this week on there. And then you can also go on YouTube right now. Make sure y'all comment and subscribe and blow ours up so that Podcast Detroit know to always put ours up on the top and be the highlight one in the poster one when it drop on YouTube and everything like that. But yeah, go on YouTube, look up Podcast Detroit, and scroll through their videos. You will definitely see the most recent or past NNE Freestyle and BS podcast episodes of some of our various guests on here and everything like that. Moms, where can they reach y'all at if y'all want to be contacted? No, okay, no. Y'all not on social media? Okay. All right, then. All right, y'all. Well, this has been episode 19 of the NNE Freestyle and BS podcast. We had our special guest here with our mothers. We just want to say thank you so much for coming out, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
giving
you for
us your
tuning
wisdom,
in.
knowledge, and everything else like that.
Yes.
So this is the Mother's Day episode of the NNE Freestyle and BS podcast, y'all. God bless. Have a great, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Peace.
It was so good.
You all, Fran?
So nice.